There was absolute outrage. Everyone was mortified. Every druid in the community... No, not really. There was only a few people, but this video is pretty much the same as yesterday's. I am going to be doing another one this afternoon to make up for it, because I do feel like this is recycled content, which I don't really want to do, but I'll flash on screen now so you can see there was lots of comments on yesterday's video about, can druids do this? Can you show us druids doing this? Blah, 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 blah. So I'm going to make this a real short version of yesterday's video, pretty much cutting all the fluff out from where I'm trying to be funny, which normally doesn't succeed. But obviously, I don't want you guys being disappointed. The Druid community especially, who have been here since the start, I don't want you guys being disappointed with me thinking I'm some fat alcoholic idiot Englishman who forgot about you. And I'm not an idiot. All the other points were fairly true, though, to be fair. So look, all I'm going to do is tell you now that for a druid, I would absolutely say, if you're going to solo, stealth farm the Auchenai dungeons, then stick to mana tombs, as you'll see why. Mana tombs, really, really comfortable for a druid to do. Not really many vein or node locations, whatever you want to call them, that you won't be able to get to, whereas the others can be quite difficult without a sap, not going to lie. Auchenai crypts is probably your second best, and I would avoid Cephek halls and Shadow Labs. Cephek halls, if it's the first room, when you go into the first room, if it's on the left-hand side where the node or the vein spawns, then you'll be all right. Other than that, the entire dungeon is a bit hit and miss. You know, if you really want to get reliable, consistent amounts of mines, or, well, mainly mines we're talking about. We're not really talking about herbs here. Like the ancient lichen, which everyone was saying I was saying that wrong yesterday. Apologies. I don't like getting these things wrong, but obviously, if you ain't already, check out yesterday's video. Make sure you like, subscribe, and let's get into it. So we're going to start with mana tombs. Like I say, this would be my choice, my preference. If you're just farming one of these dungeons, I think mana tombs is probably the safest, definitely. Now, bear in mind, I have only got 2 points out of 3 for the improved stealth. You know, as in the chance that you're going to be detected. And I don't have a problem in here at all. You do see sometimes the mobs look at me, but as long as you get past in a reasonable speed, you're not going to have many issues. I'll just speed through this because I want this to be a very short video on the basis that I've done pretty much exactly the same yesterday, but for rogues. Like you can see, we've only really navigated through, I don't know, a minute's worth, and we've found one already. Now, please, please bear in mind, there will not be as many nodes or veins, whatever you want to call them, as what I happen to find in here. This was either extremely lucky or borderlining completely impossible. I mean, with him getting to sort of the second boss room, I can already see 3 adamantite ores on the map, and one of which is a rich adamantite vein. Now, this first one by the boss, we saw this one on the rogue video. This is comfortable. You've got no issues getting this as a druid or a rogue. You've got no issues getting to this vein as a druid or a rogue, as you can see. And then as we speed through to the next one, again, no issues whatsoever there. This is in a nice little separate section of the room, which no one's going to patrol into. You're perfectly safe to get this one, no problems at all. And I mean, at the moment, we can see 4 on the map. As I say, I would not expect to ever see this happen in Classic. Lots of people have already commented on the previous video from yesterday, which was fixated largely on rogues. The botting situation, you know, as it is, if there was this many mines in these instances, they would be absolutely rife. But with this particular node, the only difference here is, as a rogue, you could be very risky and just vanish when you need to. Like you see here, I'm going to shapeshift back into cat and go stealth, so we'll pretend that I've mined it once or twice already. I'll stay stealthed, I'll wait for him to patrol round, I'll come out, and then I'll mine it again and move on. This next one without a distract is it's not overly difficult, but again, you'll probably have to do what I do here. Go cat, stealth, you know, mine it once, go cat, stealth, let it patrol round, come back out, mine it again. I mean, I didn't even stealth here, I just moved back. But this is the reason why this would be my recommendation. Don't get me wrong, it might not be the most lucrative. It looks lucrative on this run, but as I say, please don't expect this in Classic TBC. It may not be the most lucrative, but it's safe. The mobs are that much lower that you can get quite close to them without pulling. And that is the main thing as a druid. If you do happen to make a mistake and pull... Oh my god, a corium vein. I didn't even mention corium in yesterday's video, but corium is going to be very, very pricey and highly, highly camped. So when you do happen to get corium veins spawn in these dungeons, you're going to be laughing. Now, again, this particular vein location, this is going to be the last one we see. It is safe to get. You've just got to be careful and make sure that you sort of grab it in between patrols. Now, this is why doing it as a rogue is so much easier, because you can just distract to keep all the mobs looking in the same position. But, you know, still, you can stand here, get it, wait till they patrol away, and then go stealth, and then come out of stealth when it's safe. And that's what you're going to have to get used to doing as a druid when you're doing this. When you see me on the rogue yesterday, and as I say, if you haven't seen yesterday's video, I go into a lot more detail than this. But I was doing it on a rogue, and obviously the druid community wanted to see me doing it on a druid. But on a druid, you just have to be that extra careful. Take wider angles when you're trying to, you know, get past mobs. Don't try and sort of overcommit to getting all of the mine emptied in sort of one out of stealth action, if you know what I mean. You'd be better off mining it once, backing off, going back into stealth, waiting until it's safe, do it again. So it will be a little bit longer, but it's still going to be the mines per hour you're probably going to get in the one lockout is still going to be better than if you was flying around Nagrand or somewhere like that, where it's going to be highly contested. But let's have a quick look at Auchenai crypts. This is literally going to take another few minutes maximum, because I'm just going to briefly just show you Auchenai crypts, and then I'm going to show you why I don't like Sefek halls, and I wouldn't even venture into Shadow Labs as a druid. So we've walked into Auchenai crypts, and straight away there is a adamantite deposit. Now, this looks like there's lots of mobs around, but again, like I just said a minute ago, it's about being careful and clever. These mobs are quite low in comparison to your level, so all you're going to have to do is mine in between patrols. So you can see this guy walking around now. There's a patrol walking around the other pillar or altar or whatever you want to describe it as. It's quite safe when that one walks up the stairs just to come out, mine it a couple of times. You're talking, we could have probably done one by now. You know, you're probably going to get two mines off of this quite safely. Then you can go back into stealth before this guy on the left patrols round, and then wait for the patrol to carry on. Once it's out of sight again, then pick the vein up again. And then fast forwarding through. Now, the one on the right-hand side, as you come through, is perfectly safe. You don't need a sap, you don't need anything. The one on the left-hand side, you cannot get to from any angle as a druid. If you was a rogue, it's a different story. You would be able to sap that patrol because it's going to be the patrol that pulls. But as a druid, you flat out can't do it. I died 3 or 4 times trying to get to that mine from various different angles. But then carrying on where we left off from, as you can see, I left that mine because I physically couldn't find a way to get it. We go upstairs, and then this is the last mine that I actually find in here, which is just at the top of the stairs. This is a lovely one for a druid when you're farming, because it's perfectly safe. There's a patrol that goes up and down the stairs. Just keep your eye on those. Other than that, you can get it no problem at all. And then for the rest of the run, obviously, if you want to get to the last boss, you can make your way through. After you've got that amount right at the entrance, even if you've got your 2 by then, because as I say, I reckon you'll see 2 in classic dungeons personally. If you've got 2 by that point, I would just go out and reset. But I would still heavily recommend doing Mana Tombs over Auchenai crypts. But if for some reason you're having a bad time in Mana Tombs, or you prefer Auchenai crypts, then obviously go in Auchenai crypts. And now I briefly just want to touch on why I'm not a fan of Sefek halls. Now, you know on classic you're probably only going to get 1 or 2. 2 is my guess. Now, if you happen to go in Sefek halls and the first one spawned here, this is an absolute nightmare to get. I died multiple times trying to get it. It wouldn't be so bad if you was a rogue, because obviously that's when you've got sap, or if you happen to be slightly out of position when you're trying to mine it, you can vanish. Don't really want to waste your time or lead you down the garden path, you know. Just take my word for it, Mana Tombs is going to be the safest farm you can do as a druid, and I think you could see why. I tried all the others multiple times, died multiple times. Mana Tombs, I went through 3 times, every single time. First time, no deaths. The others, little bit hit and miss. Auchenai crypts, relatively safe, but still managed to find that one node that I couldn't actually get to. All of the others in Mana Tombs, no problems at all. So if these instances are obviously not on the same instance cooldown, which I don't think they will be, I think they'll all be separate, then just farm Mana Tombs and you'll be absolutely fine as a druid if that's what you want to do. So guys, I know this was, hopefully it was short anyway by the time I get post-edit, but I am going to try and get something a little bit different out rather than doing practically the same video 2 days on the trot. But as I say, this is for you druids, so peace out.